manufacturers, right? Because their profit is decreased due to higher taxes. A major portion from their profit is going to be going to the government account. So in future, because tax is going to rise, so it's less, profitable for the car manufacturers to sell in future. So they right now sell more, right? Because after 30 days, tax going to be affected. So right now they sell cars as much as possible, or vice versa. If the government announced rebate on taxes after 30 days, so car manufacturers will say that, okay, after 30 days, price is the same, but we are not going to pay taxes. My profit going to increase. So you hold your position right now. You don't want to sell right now. You will say that, okay, I'm not going to supply more cars. I will wait 30 days, and after 30 days, I will be sending cars to the market so the people can buy. Understand?
So like taxes if taxes is low, the expectation of the price will increase in the future. If right now the tax is very high, but in the future the tax will be decreasing, the price of the taxes will be decreasing. So the price of our product, we can supply them in the future, not now. So we say,
remember, taxes has to do with supplier's profit, right? If right now taxes are high, it means supplier is getting less profit. If in future taxes are lower, then in future supplier's profit will be higher. So supplier want to earn more money or less money? More money. So they will supply more in future. Right now, supply going to decrease. They will supply more in future. Right, Perenan?
Yes, I understand, sir.
Good. Number of suppliers. If there are 2 suppliers who were producing the car, now there are 4 or 5, supply increases, right? So number of sellers always increases the supply in the market. Understand? So if you understand the market force of supply, not the market, the word supply, can you solve this practical example? For a seller, which of the following quantities are not positively related? Let me know. Gustavo, your turn.
I will say the letter C.
C.
The seller's profit and production cost.
Okay. Perenan.
Same, C.
PD. PD.
B.
You said B. Answer is C. Why you said B?
I don't know.
It's not positively related. So B is price of the good and quantity.
Oh, didn't read the question carefully. Sorry.
So it's a positive relationship. Not, so you didn't focus the word not. Okay? So be very careful. How about, okay, now the summary of supply curve. So what we have studied up till now, so the supply curve shows what happened to quantity supplied of a good when price keeps all other things constant. That is a law of supply. So when one variable changes, supply shift. When only price changes, it is not shift, it is a movement. So I have also pasted a table. So that is fairly, if you understand all the variables and the logic behind that, you don't need to memorize all this stuff. If you don't understand, if you want to have a quick look, please look at that one. If price causes only movement, all the 4 variables causes shift. Okay, let's take a 15 minutes break, and then after that we will be starting the market force of both supply and demand, and then we talk about the other laws. See you after 15 minutes. Okay, class, welcome back after the break. Let's talk about the next part. So up till now, what we have studied the supply and demand, and now let's talk about the supply and demand together. So equilibrium refers to a situation in which a price has reached the level where quantity supplied equals quantity demanded, right? So this is the supply and demand together. When we study supply and demand together, so we came across the word equilibrium. So equilibrium price is that price on which quantity supplied and quantity demanded are equal. So on the graph, it is the intersection. So we'll talk about in a graph. Here we go. So you see a schedule here. So this is demand schedule. Why? Because if you see the price is increased, quantity decreased. Here, price increased, quantity also increased. So this is supply, this is demand. So if you note down here, if you note it down here, let me change the pencil color here. So you have to find out that price on which quantity supplied equals quantity demanded. So you see here, you see any price that equates. So you see, when price is 2, quantity demanded 7. When price is 2, quantity supplied is 7. So this price is called equilibrium price. And that quantity in which quantity supplied is equal to quantity demanded, we call that quantity equilibrium. So how we want to know that? Let's confirm this. If you confirm it through graph, so this is the supply curve and this is the demand curve. So let's talk about the equilibrium. Equilibrium is that point which balances or which equates supply and demand. So you see, so on equilibrium, the quantity demanded is equal to quantity supplied, and the price is called equilibrium price. Right? Now surplus and shortage. What do we mean by surplus? Surplus means when quantity supplied is greater than quantity demanded. We call this surplus. Formula is quantity supplied minus quantity demanded. The other name of surplus is also called excess supply. Right? So, what is surplus? When quantity supplied increases the quantity demanded. Formula is quantity supplied minus quantity demanded. So what is the managerial implication? When there is a surplus in the market, so the suppliers, they will lower the price to increase the sales. Let's talk about this. So what is surplus or excess supply? So we know this is a market. So remember, this is a market equilibrium. Market. Let me explain it. I think we rushed here. Here we go. A market is in which buyers and suppliers interact with each other. So you see here, so who creates demand curve? Buyers. So these are, and who creates supply? Suppliers. Right? So this is called market. If I ask you to draw a market, this is market. Right? Supply, demand. Right? Back to our Slide here. Here we go. So this is a market. What is surplus? Surplus is when supply is greater than the demand. So you see here, if the price is here, so this is demand, this is supply. So you see supply is greater than demand. So it means again, we have a real numbers. So this is the equilibrium price, equilibrium quantity. So if the price increases, remember increases, we have a new, we have a new point. We don't have the equilibrium. Equilibrium is here. We don't see any interaction of supply and demand here. But if the price increases, what happened? Demand is 4, right? And supply is 10. So which one is greater? Supply greater than demand, right? So what is the managerial decision that how you are going to tackle this problem? The demand is 4 and supply is higher. So you must decrease the price. When you start decreasing the price, you see here, supply started decreasing, right? And demand started increasing, right? Let me just clear all this stuff again, erase all. Our surplus is when supply is greater than demand. And what is the managerial decision? That what if your business has a surplus? It means you have more supply, but there are less buyers. Give discount. Buy one, get one free. Buy one, two free. Coupons, right? Or if you buy a shirt, you have 50% discount on trousers, right? So in these kind of strategies, you can get rid of excess supply. So you basically decrease the price, right? Understand? And on graph, the excess supply or surplus is above the equilibrium, right? So we can define surplus in 2 or 3 ways. Number 1, surplus is when quantity supplied is greater than quantity demanded. When market price is greater than equilibrium price. Look at that. 2 is the equilibrium price, and the market price right now is 2.5. If the market price is greater than the equilibrium price. Number 3 definition of surplus is above the equilibrium. So this is the surplus, right? Let me erase all here. So this is the surplus, this triangle, right? This is surplus. Understand? Heranan, PD, Gustavo?
Yes.
Good. Now the natural other variable that we talk about is the shortage. Shortage is the opposite of surplus.